Phoenix Suns, and I want to talk about your Golden State Warriors, Pops, because
it's a good topic.
It's a good segue, right? I want to talk about these two teams because basically what we've been seeing with these two teams is that you have the Phoenix Suns. I think have been, I know just by looking at the record, they've been the most consistent team, of all teams on both conferences so far. Because I mean they right now they're 41.
They have the best record.
They got the best record. They're 41-9.
They're 2 games ahead
of
us.
They haven't had that much compared to some other teams like Golden State and even like what we've seen with the Lakers. They haven't really had that. Other than DeAndre Ayton being out the last 7 games with that ankle injury,
is that 7 games?
They've been pretty. I think it was about 7 games. They've been pretty healthy.
Yeah,
they haven't really been affected as much as some other teams with the health and safety protocols and COVID and all of that.
Right.
But for whatever reason, with a 41-9 record, best record in the league, 11-game winning streak, they still seem to be flying under the radar. Something that JJ Redick was talking about.
And I think they say they're flying under the radar, but I don't think so. They just might not talk enough about them. And I think that's what it is. They don't talk enough about them. And I don't know why, because they're a great team. I mean, Devin Booker, we know he's an all-star. We know he's a top player in the NBA. We know what he can do from the playoffs in the championship series last year. Chris Paul, this guy has a history of being a great player, and they came close on 2 occasions. Remember when in the bubble, when they came close? And they had like the best, they had that record, and they didn't make it to the bubble, but they went undefeated, and then that rolled over into the next season.
So they made it to the bubble, they went undefeated, but they didn't make it to the playoffs.
Right, they didn't make it to the playoffs, right. So, but they were playing well up to that point, and it kind of rolled into the next season.
Right, we didn't expect it last season. We didn't expect them to get to the final. I mean, I didn't expect them to do what they did in my Lakers.
Right, man. But a lot of their other supportive players on the team have really stepped up. They're a great defensive team. I believe they're top 5 defense.
Top 5 in defense.
Top 5 in offense. Right. So when you put a team like that together and they're not having injuries, they're going to stay healthy. You know, they're going to do well. They're going to play well. And to have a big man in the middle like that.
Oh, yeah. Well, and it's interesting, Dad, because you mentioned Chris Paul and Devin Booker. These are 2 guys that's not even starting in the All-Star game now.
Well, it's understandable.
I understand because
you think about
because I would put because I put Steph and Ja over those 2 guys right now too. Right. But it's just interesting. It's not every day. I mean, we dealt with this last year when we were talking about Utah, right? And Donovan Mitchell, because they had a great record, like I think the best record in the West at the time. The time we got to the All-Star break, and I don't think Donovan Mitchell didn't start, right? I think Steph started over him.
Right.
So we were talking about
he
before.
Did. It's all about popularity and as well as people what the fans want to see.
Right.
And that's really what it comes down to. But Devin Booker and Chris Paul are going to be on the team. They're going to be getting plenty of time in the game, and it's going to be exciting to have them sharing that. I mean, I would just say, man, Chris Paul, man, is the biggest surprise, man, that he's still going like he's going. Right. He's still shooting the ball well. He's still running that offense. He's been blessed with that team, and as much as I want my team, Golden State, to win it, I still have something in me that still wants to see Chris Paul get a championship.
Oh, me too.
I don't know what it is about that, but either one of those teams, I would be happy because I think they deserve it.
Now you want Golden State to win it.
Of course I do, but I'm saying if they weren't to get where they needed to go, I would rather have them, not the Lakers. Is what I'm saying.
I mean, we're not even talking about the Lakers right now.
I just want to make
we're not talking about the Lakers right now. But I will also say this about Golden State. So I talked about Phoenix because I want to get into this conversation about who do you think is going to have the edge when it's all said and done once we reach the end of the regular season. Because with Golden State, their season's been kind of interesting because they started off so hot, 18-3. At the time, Steph was like the lead. I feel like he was the leading candidate for the MVP at that time. But then after Christmas, I was doing some research on this. After Christmas, their next 12 games, they went 5-7. Mm-hmm. Obviously, Draymond has missed about 12. He's missed their last 12 games due to injury, and then Steph was in a shooting slump until recently. Mm-hmm. But it seems like now they're kind of back on track. They're on a 7-game winning streak. They have Clay back. Steph is playing good again. Draymond, even he's going to be reevaluated at the All-Star break. Right. What do you think, man? Who do you think between those 2 teams is going to have the edge once we get to the end of the regular season?
Man, I just think it's going to come to the wire because, it all depends on what happens with Draymond Green. Because right now, I saw something that said he might be out 8 more games, and that would mean he'd be out 20 games. The good thing is that we have a deep bench, and a lot of those young guys on our team have had experience on the floor. So when Clay came back, we had to spread out the minutes with some of those guys, so they weren't getting as much minutes. But they step up to the plate. They're experienced. They've been playing hard all year. Well-conditioned team. Great defensive team as well. And they fast break and they score fast and in bunches. So when you have a team like that, and I think they're learning how to set screens possibly for Steph. I still see Steph going on one-on-one a lot.
Set the screen stuff, man.
Hey, man, that's part of the game.
Yeah,
and that's
man,
a part of the way they run their offense.
And they professional basketball players. There's no excuse for
but
why they
like that last game when he had 40 points, he was taking the guy one-on-one.
It was a lot of that.
Yeah, it was a lot of one-on-one.
That highlight reel was crazy, too.
Yeah, so I just know that one-on-one play always works you harder. It always takes a lot more out of you when you have to create for yourself all day long. And I'm just hoping that we can get some of those guys to learn how to set strong screens for their shooters, so their shooters can get a little more spacing, so they can get those shots off. But I think they're going to be there, man. I don't know who's going to be coming out the top, because I think both of those teams are going to be in the Western Conference Finals.
I think it's going to be a great Western Conference Finals matchup, and I definitely see it going 7 games.
And it's still exciting.
But the fact that Phoenix, I think we'll go 7 games. But I think that the fact that Phoenix will most likely have the home court. Well, most likely, in my opinion, they're going to end up having the home court advantage. I know they're up 3 games on Golden State right now, so they could be a swing. But I just don't see anything changing with Phoenix for the remainder of the season, unless
injuries.
Injuries. That would be the only thing. Yeah. But I feel like because they'll most likely have home court advantage, I see them winning in the 7-game series. And I want Chris Paul. I think this is the last chance. I really feel like with Chris Paul getting older, you never know what happens with injuries. I really feel like this is the best chance for them to get it. A lot of people thought that last year was, but I think the fact that they brought back the same team and they've been healthy, I think this is the best chance for them to get it done. So as much as I love Steph, Steph has 3. You know, I really want to see CP3 get hit.
Well, I really don't care what you think about Steph. All I'm going to tell you is this. I believe in my team. I think we can get it done. Last time we played, we beat them up good. They had beat us up prior to that. So it's going to be a back and forth battle. And the determining factor is going to be health. That's the bottom line. It's going to be health.